everybody! Today is Wednesday. So, if this video isn't published by Wednesday, yell at me in the comments, please, so I can get my act together next week. Anyways, today we are doing yet another Cloudbound video. And I realized I never really explained the geographical locations of all the places in Cloudbound. And the world isn't even called Cloudbound, that's just the name of the story. So I figured that it would probably be best if I started with that. Okay, so basically there's a dome in practically the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to go into any detail on the areas outside of the dome, only on the places inside. Collectively, the dome and everything inside of it is called the Haven. The actual map of the Haven would look something like this. In the Haven, there are 6 areas on the main ground, which are the Hollow, the Marsh, the Glacier, the Ember, the Graze, and the Palace. Above these areas is a place known as the Sky. The Sky is just as big as the other places, if not smaller, since it is only condensed to a couple of cliffs above the Hollow. And underneath all these places are the mines, which is what we are going to be talking about today. The mines are a big network of tunnels that were originally dug by mole creatures. The people who live here are known as crystallids, and they have the power to control the crystals which grow in the mines. These crystals have the power to heal things and also to enable growth. The crystallid that I'm drawing here is named Geode. She is believed to be the last crystallid in the mines, and this is because all of the other crystallids got wiped out by the palace. Now, in order to explain all of this, we kind of have to backtrack a little bit. So basically, since the mines are widespread throughout the entire Haven, that basically means that they are not easily controlled. There are entrances to the mines from every area in the Haven, other than the Sky, obviously. And that makes them dangerous because that means that other people from other areas can interact with each other. I will explain why the palace doesn't want that in a future video, but since that would be very dangerous to the palace, they tried to brainwash the crystallids like they did with the Skylayer in the Sky, but the mines were just too big for them to actually make any progress in this effort. On top of that, the crystallids started to notice what the palace was doing, and that made them even more dangerous to the palace. In the end, the palace just decided to kill them all, blowing up multiple entrances into the mines in the process, and creating a mask that allows them to control the minds of the native mole creatures, basically enabling them to have eyes in the mines at all times. While these mole creatures would normally be very calm and not likely to hurt anybody, but the mask controls their minds, forcing them to use their claws for more than just digging. All the crystallids were either killed or they fled out into the vast, which is basically just all of the land that isn't under the dome, and the amount of survivors were scarce. And the people who did banded together and formed their own kind of society, hiding from the moles who had completely taken over their world. After years of living in hiding, the small crystallid civilization was found by the palace moles, and all the crystallids who lived there were killed except for Geode. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but somehow she was the only one who survived that encounter with the moles. But we'll talk about Geode and her story in another video. Anyways, when the main population of crystallids were wiped out, they completely abandoned their jobs as miners, leaving tons of half-dug-up crystals stuck to the ceiling and sides of the tunnels. The crystals, having the power to enable growth, allowed for plants to start growing in the mines without any sunlight necessary. And by the time that the smaller civilization of crystallids were found and killed off, there was already a fully functioning rainforest throughout the entire area of the mines. Now, it wouldn't be a rainforest without any rain. Well, my sister came up with this cool idea where the ceilings of the mines are dripping some kind of calcium-like substance. And when it comes into contact with a solid object, there is a little tiny crystal, like a little clump of crystals that grows there. I was also kind of thinking to simulate like hail, that when the crystals on the ceiling grow too big, then small chunks of crystal will just break off and fall to the earth. It is almost always raining in the mines, which is why you see Geode carrying an umbrella. And sometimes, the larger crystals can even be fatal. For example, Geode lost her left hand from one of these crystals. I'm not sure if that's a good place to end this video, but I don't really have anything else to say, so I probably should end it now. Thank you to my sister Celloberry for the music that I used in this video, and see you next time, probably another Cloudbound video. Bye!